Well, what a night at Club Menangle. We started out making plans to build another arc. The rain just kept pouring in the hours leading up to what was an outstanding night of racing. 4 Group 1 titles, the Rising Stars, and also the JC Caffin Indigenous Drivers Invitational. The man in the thick of the action, caller Fred Hastings, and he joins me now. Well, Fred, as per usual, this outstanding Menangle surface picked itself off, dusted itself off, and what a stage it set for some great racing tonight.
Well, the rain was just, as you said, as you alluded, it was quite incredible how fierce the rain and it bucketed down, and you just know what this track is like. It's going to handle it without any issues, and I think they came out and ran ridiculously fast in the first race, and you just knew there's nothing wrong with this track.
Well, a dashing front-running drive by Blake Hughes with Marty Major set the scene, taking out the Rising Stars.
What an incredible array of junior talent it was, and Blake is a real up-and-comer. He found the top, he ran them along, he backed off and got a cheap, I think it was the second quarter was a cheaper one, gave his horse a breather, and didn't he love the win? He gave a little flourish of the whip as he crossed the line. Very deserved. He's a very, very much up-and-comer, Blake Hughes.
Cool, calm and collected drive by Jess Pryor meant that she's now added her name on the honour roll for the JC Caffin Drivers Invitational on 2 occasions.
Yeah, look, that was a terrific drive. She was buried away on the pegs, got into the clear at the top of the lane, and she just kept sooling her horse along, and it kept coming, Red Reactor. It looked to have something on them in form. It was a Group 3 winner going back into the month of September, but it just kept coming, and she got the best out of it, particularly that last probably 50 metres or so, and she's a very talented driver, Jess, and all credit to her to get her name, as you say, on the JC Caffin plate on 2 occasions now. Only the second of the drivers to have done that on more than one occasion, of course, to win more than once.
Meatloaf famously said, Fred, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but for Luke McCarthy tonight, he went one better. 3 out of 4 is pretty good.
Well, 3 out of 4, Mick, but he was past the post in front on all 4 Group 1s. Quite an incredible feat. Of course, he lost the 2-year-old fillies race to Pelosi. The 3-year-old fillies race to Pelosi on protest. There was only a nose margin, and there was no room for error. The stewards deemed that there was a sufficient shift, and they took the race off Luke. But yeah, to win 3 out of 4, he's just at the peak of his powers at the moment. He's dominating metropolitan racing here at Menangle week in and week out. He has done for most of the season, and tonight just shows that he truly is in the top echelon of drivers Australia-wide.
Yeah, I think you could say, Fred, on nights like this, it's cometh the hour, cometh the man, where Luke McCarthy is concerned.
Well, there's been other occasions, Mick, on Breeders' Challenge Finals Day where Luke has dominated, and he seems to, as you say, the cream rises to the top, and he certainly showed tonight that he's just an outstanding reinsman. He puts his horses in the right spot, gives them every conceivable hope, and that's pretty much how tonight's race has panned out for him. Away from the inside, getting peg runs, just did a superb job.
And going back to the protest, for unless you backed the winner in the first place, I don't think there was too many people arguing against the fact the stewards did make the right decision.
Look, when it's a nose margin, there is just no room for error, and it can be the slightest inconvenience that will see the race taken off you. And that's exactly how it panned out. There was a slight shift from the horse, and when calling the race live, I had the 1050s parked on the 2 horses, and I just seemed to notice Pelosi, she just seemed to balk, and Jimmy had to just shift her away from Luke, and it went through my mind then, gee, what happened there? Having seen the replay, it was pretty obvious that if the stewards could deem that the horse did shift out and it wasn't Pelosi shifting in, that it would be very hard for Luke to keep the race, and unfortunately for connections of Keep Rockin', it wasn't to be, and Pelosi gets the race on protest.
Do you have a highlight?
I just think I'll take away from this meeting Luke McCarthy. It's just an incredible performance on a night with multiple Group 1s that he has dominated the way he has, and you know, when you consider he was within a whisker of annexing all 4 Group 1s, it's just a remarkable achievement. He's driven 4 races, 4 winners on the card. He of course partnered Outer Orlando back into the winner's circle tonight, so just at the peak of his powers, Luke, and that's for me the highlight.
Can't argue with that, Fred. The fact that we've got an exciting group of 2 and 3-year-olds, so hopefully you're going to be calling a lot of very smart horses into the future.
It augurs well, doesn't it, when you see some of these horses? It's quite exciting, Mick, and then you've got that selection or that group of fast class horses as well that have just been dominating their various states. So, you know, Chicago Bull, Lochinvar in Victoria, and then the Sydney siders like Cash and Flow, King of Swing, and then you've got the Kiwi contingent who are champing at the bit to get over here. So we've got some great racing ahead of us in the coming months, no doubt about that.
Fred, thanks for your time on Club and Angle TV.
Always a pleasure, Mick.